Right now at 6 o'clock, attention is turning to small towns and the impacts that the governor's proposals could have on them. Brooke Griffin will share a recap of the goals the governor set out in yesterday's State of the State address.
And do you know where you can file your federal and state tax returns? We're going to tell you how one program is helping families file for free and what you can do to avoid getting scammed.
Also, Gino Auriemma reached 1,200 career wins. He's actually not the only one who did it yesterday. We'll tell you what he had to say after UConn's big win against Seton Hall last night.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good Thursday morning. Thanks so much for joining us here on Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus, America Areas.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Happy Thursday, everybody. We're still in the midst of a warming trend, which is great to see as we get over to meteorologist Matt Scott. Usually when we have this level of sunshine in the winter, I tend to associate it with colder temperatures.
No, you're absolutely right. I love the time, by the way.
Thank you.
They're really embracing spring, which, by the way, with the numbers that we'll get later on today, they're more reminiscent of like March 19th, 20th, which, by the way, first day of spring. So there you go. Here's what you need to know before you go. Sunshine still, no complaints. It's been beautiful, and we're now really warming up the temperatures nicely. Is winter in the distance, though? I'll show you that on a 7-day. Cloud and radar pictures quiet, just a few fair weather clouds. Temperatures, you could say they're chilly. Willimantic 22, 24 Windsor Locks, 25 in Meriden. But you know what? These are still much warmer than where they should be for an early to mid-February morning. Here's the planner. Temperatures getting into the upper 40s to, we'll make a run at 50 degrees with a largely calm wind. So well above normal, and we're not done yet. But let's talk about that chance of winter, too. It does come back. We'll talk about when coming up. Let's check the roads. Good morning, Symphony Privet.
Hey, good morning to you. We've been keeping an eye on a crash out in Plainville this morning. If you're just waking up, police out there are working to clear up an overturned tractor trailer. And we have some video from the scene earlier this morning, if we can take that, showing that overturned tractor trailer. Large response from first responders out there. That's what it looked like earlier this morning. Right now, we have a look at the conditions out there. We do know the right and center lanes are closed, and there is a backup extending down the interstate this morning. You can see they are still actively working to clear that. There's just one lane of traffic open out there right now, so expect some delays. Checking out the drive times here in Hartford, no delays on 91, 84, or Route 2, and down in New Haven, smooth sailing. There is a minor delay reported on 95 South heading to Bridgeport. You'll get there in 28 minutes. We'll have another update for you coming up at 6:30.
All right, Symphony, thank you. Well, today is another big day when it comes to outlining goals for making Connecticut stronger. Community leaders across the state are all going to meet today to talk about their priorities for the year.
Yeah, Governor Ned Lamont talked about his proposals for the state yesterday. He's one of several people expected to speak during the Connecticut Council of Small Towns meeting. Fox 61's Brooke Griffin is live at the Capitol right now with a preview of that. Brooke, good morning.
Good morning to you. You know, those local and state leaders are really agreeing on a lot of big topics this year as far as what they say needs to be made a priority over the course of the next 3 months. Now, in the State of the State address yesterday, Governor Ned Lamont and others said that being fiscally responsible, tackling housing, and also education resources is going to be front and center. That's what we expect to see on the smaller side of things, just in those towns and cities today as well. The cost meeting in Plantsville will feature Governor Lamont, legislative leaders, local leaders, and others on the state and local levels as they work together today to lay out what will be a priority for Connecticut towns and cities this year. Many of the topics appointed so far are hand in hand with Governor Lamont's 2024 priorities that were announced in yesterday's State of the State address, including budget issues that help small organizations thrive, but also keep the spending under control, increasing resources for special education programs, tackling climate change on a lower level, and providing more affordable housing options for the people struggling to afford a roof over their heads. State leaders say they're excited to see what gets done on both the state and local levels over the course of the next 3 months.
Not everybody's going to get what they want, but these are issues that are really not mutually exclusive. Let's grow our economy, let's meet the goals of the state, but let's make sure we're doing it in a responsible way.
And if you're wondering what exactly your town or city leaders may be focusing on this year, we are going to have somebody at that meeting today, and they will break down a little bit more specifically of what's going to happen over the next few months, what is in your woods, neck of the woods. So that's just something that we are tackling today. A lot of big changes and a lot of big topics happening over the next few months. Live in Hartford, Brooke Griffin, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And Brooke, thank you for that.
Brooke. Well, meantime, one man was seriously hurt after he was hit by a car on Laurel Street in Hartford. It happened about 7:30 last night. The driver stayed there at the scene, and police say the driver is cooperating with them. If you saw the crash, please call police. Well, just hours before that crash, officers say someone on a dirt bike ran through a red light, hitting a school bus. Now, this happened just before 3 yesterday afternoon at the intersection of Barber Street and Tower Ave. That's near the entrance to Keeney Park. Now, we're told the person on the dirt bike died. Now, there weren't any kids on the bus at the time of the crash. People we spoke with say there are some issues with speeding and drivers ignoring traffic signs every day.
You got kids getting off the school buses, and the people have to worry about whether their kids are safe. It doesn't matter what age the people that's driving are. They don't pay attention to stop signs. Pay attention to stop. Kids are crossing the street. You know, you're putting yourself in danger and everybody else.
Now, police officers say they do have video of the crash from the school bus and from city surveillance cameras. Police are reminding people that dirt bikes and all other terrain vehicles are illegal to drive on city streets unless they are registered.
A Stamford police officer was charged in a car crash that killed a pastor last summer. Zachary Lockwood was charged with misconduct with a motor vehicle. State police said Lockwood was driving 20 miles an hour over the speed limit while responding to a call of a car crash. They said that's when he hit Reverend Tommy Jackson while Jackson was crossing the street. Now, troopers said Lockwood was turning his sirens on and off intermittently while driving, and that he had them turned on 15 seconds before hitting Jackson. Stamford police have also started an internal investigation into the crash. Well, in the Michelle Troconis trial, her defense lawyers got a chance to cross-examine a former employee of Fotis Dulos yesterday. Pavel Gumieni was questioned about his testimony of what happened the day Fotis's wife Jennifer disappeared. Now, Troconis' attorney, John Schoenhorn, said Gumieni didn't reveal everything he knew to police at first.
You didn't tell him at that point that you were actually over at 585 Deercliff in Avon.
At that time, no.
You didn't tell him you'd been at a junkyard in Southington for a couple of hours, did you?
No.
Now, Gumieni said at that time he had the uninstalled seats of his Toyota Tacoma inside the company car he was driving. Police said Fotis Dulos was seen driving that same Tacoma to and from the area Jennifer was last seen in New Canaan on the day she was last seen. Prosecutors also claimed that Fotis had Gumieni's truck cleaned after that and was pressuring Gumieni to sell it. But the defense yesterday showed screenshots of what they said was Gumieni's internet search history, and they said it showed that Pavel was looking for a new vehicle weeks before Jennifer disappeared. Well, testimony is expected to resume again at 10 a.m. in Stamford. You can watch it live when it happens on Fox 61 Plus. Now, at 6:08 this morning, congratulations go out not just to UConn women's head coach Gino Auriemma, but also to associate head coach Chris Daly, because together, all at UConn, they both reached 1,200 career wins last night. As for Auriemma, he is the third Division I head coach to reach that milestone, and among the three, he's the fastest to do it. Duke's Mike Krzyzewski and Stanford's Tara Vanderveer are the other two. The Huskies got there for Gino by routing Seton Hall 67-34 last night in the XL Center in Hartford. Aaliyah Edwards led the way with 18 points. Ashlyn Shade had 17. After the game, here's what Auriemma had to say about Daly and about her being by his side the whole time.
That decision, I think, made every other decision possible. I think had I gotten that one wrong, it would have been a whole lot of other wrong decisions going forward. If she wasn't a part of this, it probably would not have happened. I can honestly say that.
And of the three head coaches to win 1,200 games, he's the only one to do it at one school, which is just a testament to what he and Daly have accomplished together. As for the Huskies moving forward, they're now heading to South Carolina to play against the #1 ranked Gamecocks. That game is set for Sunday at 2 p.m.